Hi, Christine.
He gets around as our Chancellor.
Right, you're going to show me how this works.
Hard hats, safety glasses, listening, sipping, widgets, bricks, site plans, economic plans, drilling, kidding, kids, peas, crabs, labs, cars, bingo.
Almost.
What a 5 years it's been. It's all a far cry from George Osborne's family business, making high-end wallpaper. But what about the cold, hard numbers? How does the past half-decade look when you put it down on paper? Has Osborne been decorating over the cracks, or has he actually changed the structure of UK PLC?
The unemployment rate's such an important statistic. It's actually come down a lot faster than anyone expected, all the way down from 8% to below 6% at the moment. But real earnings, when you take away inflation, they are still below where they were in 2010. The squeeze has continued. The actual composition of the economy has changed over the past 5 years as well. You might not have noticed it, but production, manufacturing, quarrying, mining, that's 1.5% smaller now than it was when George Osborne came into office. Similar story actually for finance too after the crash. But just look at this, admin, administration, support services up by more than any other part of the economy. Finally, there's the question of trust. At the start of his time in office, George Osborne was considerably more trusted than Ed Balls with the economy. But then we had the downturn around 2012, 2013. It was about equal, but towards the end of his time in office, to getting towards now, he is considerably more trusted. In fact, one of the most trusted chancellors in history.
One of his biggest renovations has been to the housing market with his Help to Buy scheme. Many around the country say they've yet to feel the recovery, though most of his constituents here in Tatton seem pretty pleased with the Chancellor's first 5 years.
From my experience, throughout the years as a gardener, it does seem to be getting better and better progressively so.
Do you think he's doing a good job?
As far as the country's going, yes. I mean, I've no complaints about that.
It wasn't always this easy. Think back to 2012, being booed at the Paralympics, the pasty tax, warnings from the IMF. Since then, he's worked hard to shape up and improve his image.
Well, I think there's broad satisfaction at where he's ended up in going into the election in 2015 compared to where he was in the middle of this parliament. He was making very little progress on dealing with the deficit. To go from that to having a half-decent story to tell, actually, when you take into account growth, employment especially, slightly less impressive on the deficit, but in the round, a better story to tell.
So, 5 budgets down, only 1 to go. And he'll be hoping this one helps push the Conservatives towards some kind of victory in the election. Ed Conway, Sky News.